Hello, everybody, and thank you for watching once again. This is Sylvia and Peter, and we hope you're okay because we're talking about being okay today.
Mm, mhm.
And there's a saying that it's okay to not be okay. There's also a challenge to that, which says, is it okay to not be okay?
Mm.
And, well, is it?
And it's interesting as well because there's another spin on that. If it's okay not to be okay,
Mm.
are we not then encouraging or reinforcing or whatever phraseology we wish to use for people to stay in that not okay position and not try or endeavour or want or need or would like to do something to put them back into an okay position? I think there's been a lot of talk over the last few years to encourage people that it is okay not to be okay, i.e., to be able to talk about when you're not okay, when you have poor mental health or problems, as people call them, or issues. Um, but yes, I do think it is okay not to be okay. But I also think if you're not okay, what do we do about it? Or what would we like to do about it? Or are we okay staying in that position? You and I both, Peter, have been in that not okay position in no uncertain terms. And we've gone to some very dark places, the pair of us. But we have both worked extremely hard to put ourselves back into an okay position and stay in that position. So I think it is okay not to be okay, but in my opinion, let's just not accept that it's okay to be there forevermore.
It's just interesting when a slogan, which I think it is, comes up. It's okay to not be okay,
Mm,
and everybody seems to think, yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it?
mm, mm,
And then after a while, actually, behaviors tend to go into some kind of extreme where, yeah, but it's okay, I'm not okay, it's fine, it's allowed, and then we do nothing about it.
mm,
And then that is the point where it is not okay anymore because almost like people have given up.
mm.
But it's also very difficult to ask someone who is feeling extremely low to say, get on with it, get some help, do something, because that's the last thing you want to do when you're feeling low.
Mhm.
So, how do we get around this one? It's okay to not be okay. What does it actually mean? Does it mean that it's okay to just stay in a not okay situation? Or does it mean that it's acceptable as a human being that we can't all be happy clappy all the time, that we do have good days and bad days?
Mm,
And that is okay.
mm,
I think we need to rethink the concept of it's okay to not be okay
mm.
because we can't expect to be just the same level all the time, the same level, same degree of contentedness or happiness. It doesn't work like that.
Mm.
But we shouldn't just accept, okay, yeah, that's fine, and then do nothing about it.
Mm. I think there for me, as you were talking, you used the words I was going to talk about is whether it's a bad day or not. It's okay to not be okay. There are days when we all have off days, and I might be generalizing here, but I think we all have days when we have off days, and and we are not okay, whatever our own okay position is. And I think that's also important for each individual to recognize when they are okay. What is my okay position? How do I know I'm okay? Because then we know when we're having a off day, bad day, whatever you want to call it. And I think that's important because, to your point, we're not happy clappy every single day. But just because I have a bad day doesn't mean to say I have poor mental health.
Hmm.
I'm having a bad day. That's a not okay day. And I think that as I'm talking now, I wonder where it's okay not to be okay has crept in terms of, rather than it just being a bad day, it's gone a bit further. It's okay to not be okay. I've got depression, anxiety, OCD, or whatever it is, and that's okay. But if we want to do something about it, then we can get ourselves back into our okay position, whatever that means for each individual. And I think that's interesting. It's okay to not be okay. I had a bad day the other day. Have I got poor mental health? No, it was an off day.
We talk, we're talking about do something about it, as if there is a standard type of mood or mental health state that we all must be sort of within a range of.
Mm,
And if not, something is wrong.
mm,
And I think probably the term "it's okay to not be okay"
mm,
is coming from um, some kind of thinking that, well, we don't have to all conform to the same
mm.
level of happiness or satisfaction in life. But I think it's also part of the make the workplace more human, that
Yes,
actually we can go and say to the boss or our colleagues that, I'm having a crap day, just leave me for a
mm,
while, or ask for help somehow. So
mm.
it is it's a sentiment going in the right direction, I think. And
Indeed.
perhaps by some it's been hijacked. I read a long article recently in my newspaper talking about the latest thing in politics. I don't want us to talk politics, but sick note Britain,
Mm,
where you go to a doctor and you get a sick note. Actually, it has been called a fit note for a decade or so, if not more, where you're supposed to figure out with the GP what can you actually do instead of focusing on what you can't do. But now current administration wants to reduce the number of sick notes, especially those issued for mental health problems, as if it has gone over the top. Everybody now claims to have poor mental health.
mm,
Or actually, do people have more mental health
mm,
problems than they did before? And it's only now that we are aware of it.
mm.
But then it's okay to not be okay. So that's fine. So I don't need to go to work. Is that the kind of mentality that comes in? So we don't need to. I don't know.
It's that again. That's something that we've spoken about before, isn't it, Peter? Where the campaigns and the push and the agenda around making it, mental health in the workplace, making it okay to not be okay, to recognise poor mental health, to bring mental health language into daily language, so we become a little bit more familiar with it. We reduce the stigma, we reduce the fear around it, discrimination around it. But as we said before, sometimes there is a tipping point where it can become meaningless. It can be misunderstood, misinterpreted, and misused. And a lot of people, and I'm feeling, unless they have, for example, a self-awareness, they might think, oh, rather, you and I might think it's a bad day. Someone goes, oh, I'm depressed, I've got anxiety. They go to the doctor, they may get signed off. But then what happens next? Is it just you're signed off and you then don't work? Or is it, you seek help, or whatever EAP programs are in organisations to encourage that person to become okay again, or, of course, manage long-term conditions, because everyone's okay position will be very, very different. I have a friend who some might say, oh, she lives on her nerves, that one. But that's her okay. That's her normal. So it's a really interesting where this tipping point has now become, oh no, there's so many people being signed off with mental health issues or poor mental health. But again, to your point, is it also because of the push to raise awareness, people are becoming more cognizant of what poor mental health is and what it isn't, and recognizing that they do need some support. Sick note Britain, as we're starting to be known, but then we haven't got the support to encourage the people, we haven't got the infrastructure to encourage them to be okay again, whatever okay is for each individual. And think we then have another set of circumstances.
Yeah.
I don't know what the answer is to break that one, but there's always a balance to be had in all these things.
And I think the balance is usually the one that disappears once a new term arrives, one new awareness arrives. Then it's as if there's a stampede heading in one direction, and then we need to gradually change that into another direction, and then finally straight down some kind of somewhere on the middle of the road. But it would be very interesting if someone would tell us when they think it's okay to not be okay,
Mm.
when they think it is okay to not be okay, when they think it is not okay.
Mm.
Because there can't be just one answer to this.
Mm.
There has to be circumstances and situations where, yeah, it's actually fine. I am not okay.
Mm.
But is it a long-term condition
Mm.
to not be okay? Is that okay?
Mm.
I don't think so. If there's something you can do to make your life better somehow, why not give it a go?
Mm. And again, this other one that's come up, if it's okay not to be okay, are we not then encouraging people to stay not okay?
Yes.
And get stuck, for want of a better phrase, in that way of being, that state or frame of mind. That's a very, another interesting concept. It would be great to hear what people think about that too.
So let us know what you think.
Mm.
Is it okay? Is it not okay? Love to hear from you.
But I'm okay. And are you okay, Peter?
Fine. Thank you for watching. See you later.
Later. Bye-bye.